Yo, what up? Hey, shout out to Nip. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to Nip. Shout out to
They're
Nip
all
for
the
Hustle
same
Square.
shape. They all point the same direction. Nobody knows what made them. In 1933, pilots noticed something strange in their aerial photographs. Perfect ovals. Thousands of them, all pointing northwest. Save this right now because this is one of the biggest unsolved geological mysteries in North America, and it's in your backyard. They're called Carolina Bays, not because they're near water. Because early settlers found bay trees growing in them. They range from 50 meters to 7 kilometers wide. Some are lakes. Some are swamps. Some are farmland now. But here's what makes scientists lose sleep. They all point the same direction, northwest to southeast, every single one. In the 1950s, a UNC geologist said a meteor shower did it. The alignment, the shape, the raised rims, it all fit. The theory evolved. Maybe a comet hit the ice sheet covering Canada 12,000 years ago. The debris flew southeast, created 500,000 craters. That timing matches the extinction of the mammoth. The sudden cooling called the Younger Dryas. The theory gained believers. But then scientists started dating them, and the dates didn't match. Some are 100,000 years old. Some are 15,000. Worse, nobody has ever found meteor fragments in a single Carolina Bay. No shocked minerals, no impact glass. Nothing. The current theory? Burning peat created basins. Wind shaped the rims over thousands of years. Less dramatic, more controversial. Open Google Earth right now. Search Bladen County, North Carolina. You'll see them everywhere. Perfect ovals, all pointing the same direction. Lake Waccamaw is one of them. 9,000 acres. Species found nowhere else on Earth. A Carolina Bay that became a lake. Thousands have been drained for farming. The evidence is disappearing faster than scientists can study it. Researchers can't get funding to study them. The mystery sits unsolved while the bays get plowed under. 500,000 depressions, all the same shape, all the same alignment. Meteor shower, comet debris, ancient fires, not the sudden...
Yo, what up? You know what I'm saying? Hey, they clubbing tonight. They clubbing tonight. And they don't, bro. When I tell you, in this city right here, they don't give a fuck what's going on. That shit don't got nothing to do with them. I'm talking about the Carolinians. Shit don't got nothing to do with them. That shit don't have nothing to do with them. They twerking. I'm talking like, bruh. Like, I mean, they twerking into the club. They twerking into the club. Yo. They twerking into the club. They don't care what's going on right now. It don't have nothing to do with them. Peace, Sid. Salam. I come in peace. You feel me? Salam alaikum. God, we need peace right now. Like it's like peace is it's a gift from God. And it's like a gem. It's like because it's so hard to attain, but it's so simple. And I think that like right now in the world it's an ego war. It's an ego war that's going on right now. And it's causing a lot of collateral damage. And that's not fair to the people because the people are seeking peace. But if you want peace, prepare for war. That's literally that's the old saying. And that's what's going on right now. And so, like, there needs to be a shift in humanity. And right now, we need to be setting up excavation camps for the youth. That's the call. Like, the youth need to get their hands dirty, and they need to know where they come from. Like how at the beginning I played the Carolina Bay joint, and they were saying that people don't have the research to study this. They don't have the time, but the children do. I'd rather the kids be out doing an excavation project than to be out here spinning the block and risking their life. And what I don't understand is how Netanyahu and Donald Trump is literally committing murder and hiding behind war. This ain't war, it's genocide. And they war crimes. And so how can they get away with killing people, but little kids who haven't even discovered themselves and haven't even discovered their true meaning, who out here catching bodies, they get caught up into the system, and then they become captured and prisoners of war, but they can't capture the two most criminal people that's... I don't understand it. I don't understand it. That I don't understand. And that's my take on it. That's my take on it. This is an article I wrote. I wrote this shit back in 2024. You see the tape, it was like around, I think this was it was supposed to publish on the 29th, but I wrote it. I wrote this by hand. I wrote this whole article by hand. And I was talking about how, like, it don't matter who you vote for. They still shaking hands with Israel. This picture right here is Netanyahu shaking hands with Kamala Harris, meaning that they had a trust agreement. And that's that alliance. And so I've been wrote about this. And that's what a lot of people don't understand, is we're not using common sense. And that's what I need for us as a people. Like, we owe it to ourselves to use common sense and operate off of common sense. And when you operate off of common sense, then everything becomes logic, right? And all you have to do when you operate on common sense is you don't take anything personal. No, you don't take nothing. You don't take nothing personal. It's professionalism, and that right there. And one of the biggest things I learned with dealing with the courts is deference. That's one of the most wisest things that I learned. I had to learn deference, because when I first started getting summons to the court, I'm like, I don't acknowledge those courts. You feel what I'm saying? Like, I had court dates that I knew that I had to be at, and I deliberately did not go because I didn't acknowledge it, right? And what I had to learn, because, like, again, to them, that's a war crime. When you don't show up to court, that's a war crime. So therefore, they issue bench warrants, and they come and capture us. This is how they got us from the beginning. That's what slavery was all about. It wasn't slavery. It was military tactics to get prisoners of war. And like the brother Rod Hayes said, that, we had prisoners of war too. So earlier, all week I've been talking about allies. You see how this all lines up? I was just talking about 1706 And then this just line up in my field studies. So in my previous lives, I talked about how the Indians were allies with the British. And here is a pure example. Like, this is complimenting. I think that what's happening, Sid, is like, I think God is giving me these instructions and then putting these artifacts in front of me to confirm. It's like when we deliver a load, we get we have to send proof of delivery. And so this right here is the proof that God delivered it. You know what I'm saying? And so there's the book Tecumseh and the Prophet. This is why I got ancient and modern Brits, because I was reading Tecumseh and the Prophet, and Tecumseh and the Prophet was talking about how Britain was allies, Great Britain was allies with the American Indians because of the theory that the old theory, enemy of my enemy is my friend. Okay, so that's what you see. That's what's going on with Russia. That's where China comes into play. That's where our China and Iran's relationship comes into play. That's the theory of nature. That's nature. That's always. It always has been that. It always has been that. And what it is on a deeper level is Mother Earth purging herself of the things that is cancerous to her body. And that's literally what it is. And it's poetry. And that's what this is. That's what this is talking about. So this 1706, and it says, look at the enemy. Combined forces of the colonists and the Native Americans, which we know, when you say Native American, Donald Trump is a Native American. So we have to specify who they're talking about. When they're talking about the Native Americans, they're talking about in 1706, the Nagas that was already here. So that's where you get Aboriginal. So when I talk to these Europeans, when I talk to these Scot-Irish and these Israeli supporters, I tell them that I am the Aboriginal Carolinian. I am an Aboriginal Carolinian, and that has to be classified because they're coming on and they're leeching and they're in private and amongst themselves and in these other countries calling themselves Carolinian. While we're in America calling ourselves Black, and the names and the labels that they gave us, and they're taking our title of nobility and saying that they're the true Carolinians. And I've been saying this for years. I've been putting in work for years, like in the people's face. I'm like Tyrese, like, what more do you want? Like, I'm like, yo, what do I need to do? What else do I need to do? And I'm like, why? If I taught in college classrooms. That's why on that post the other day I said that I applied at Cornell. Nobody ever knew that. The reason why I put that is because that's when I had the self-awareness that I knew my worth. I knew my value. I said, you know what? I'm applying for this. This an equity program? Equity? I put on my resume that I was a chancellor. I put on a chancellor of my own affairs. Man, that's crazy. Because the chancellor assesses the equity. And there's no cap in my rap. So it's like, this is we are the Americans that was allied with, it say the combined forces of the call. They talking about the British. So these were the original Brits that was coming over here, who was loyal to their king and loyal to their nationhood. So they was on code. That's why they respected us, because you had people who come from tribes, old ancient Gaelic and Celtic tribes that was in Europe, that came over here and seen that we was on code with our ancient tribes here. So that was the connection. And then there was this new democracy that was coming that was trying to wipe us out. And it's just like, you see people argue for this democracy so hard. But yet, look at what they doing. Right now, today, they killed a religious leader. The prime religious leader. This man was a human. He had a life. He had a family. You see what I'm saying? So that's where the Allies, that's where it came from. So following the tumultuous beginning of the colony, the victory proved a moment of unity for the young colony of South Carolina, as men from around the surrounding countryside heeded the call to come in defense. So that's what this was all about. Look up the Treaty of Britain and Morocco. That was before the United States. Now, this is interesting that the United States declared independence from Great Britain, but now Great Britain is allies with the United States. Now, what I also want to point out is that ain't ancient. Modern Britain ain't ancient Britain. Ain't the ancient Brits isn't the modern Brits. It's not. And when you watch The Crown on Netflix, it'll tell you that. It'll tell you that. So, all right.
Earlier this morning, the United States and Israel struck targets in Iran. Iran has since launched indiscriminate strikes across the region. I know the British people and communities across our country will be deeply concerned about what this means for security and stability, and for the fate of innocent people across the region, which for so many of us includes friends and family members. So whilst the situation is evolving very quickly, I want to set out our response. The United Kingdom played no role in these strikes, but we have long been clear the regime in Iran is utterly abhorrent. They have murdered thousands of their own people, brutally crushed dissent, and sought to destabilize the region. Even in the United Kingdom, the Iranian regime poses a direct threat to dissidents and to the Jewish community. Over the last year alone, they have backed more than 20 potentially lethal attacks on UK soil. So it is clear they must never be allowed to develop a nuclear weapon. That remains the primary aim of the United Kingdom and our allies, including the US. I condemn Iran's attacks today on partners across the region, many of which are not parties to this conflict. We extend our support and solidarity to them as part of our commitments to the security of our allies in the Middle East. We have a range of defensive capabilities in the region, which we've recently strengthened. Our forces are active, and British planes are in the sky today as part of coordinated regional defensive operations to protect our people, our interests, and our allies, as Britain has done before, in line with international law. We've stepped up protections for British bases and personnel to their highest level. We are also reaching out to UK nationals in the region and doing everything we can to support them. I've been speaking with leaders today from the E3 and across the region. It is vital that we prevent further escalation and return to a diplomatic process. We want to see peace and security and the protection of civilian life. Iran can end this now. They should...
But y'all killed their religious leader. Y'all killed their religious leader. You know what I'm saying? Man, just like they killed ours. Just like they killed Malcolm. You see what I'm saying? Man. Man. I was just lost for words. I was lost for words. How many of y'all know about him? How many of y'all know about this guy? Hold on. Yeah. Happy Black History Month. Today the last day. We closing out Black History Month. I mean, come on, like, come on, man. I can't do this alone. I can't do this alone. Because, like, with my next project that's coming out, there's going to be clips so that the Fountain of Youth can continue to work. You feel what I mean? And that's what this is all about. It's a continuation process. It's an evolution. You know what I mean? So we need more people talking about this. So you mean to tell me the only thing we can talk about is sports and drama? We can have conversations about Cardi B and Offset, but we can't have conversation about real world problems and how it pertains to us and what we need to do as a people to better ourselves, right? So this Robert Smalls, and I seen something, I think there was something on him that was floating around on Facebook or something, but I went to the place that talked about it. That's it right there. So 1862, he was enslaved. Now, let's not forget about, let me see here. So he said he captured a Confederate ship. You feel me? So this is where you get what we call today black on black crime. This is where it started. You feel what I'm saying? This is where it started. You feel me? So Robert was a good boy. You see what I'm saying? He was a good boy. And I mean that, like, he was good. They gave him his freedom. He got his freedom. Because he was good. He obeyed with the commands. Go do our dirty work. That's what happened. That's what happened. I bet. Hold on. We got it. Hold on. I'll be right back. I have to go to my Facebook. I'm about to go to my Facebook. Dang, that's crazy. Yeah. So I'm gonna go to my Facebook and I'm gonna get the see the Franks. You see the Frank? All right. Good old boy. He was good. One more. So he got his freedom because he captured the Confederate ship. All right. Now what? Captured. He was offered his freedom. He was offered his freedom, but he refused to take oath and allegiance to the Federals. Now check this out. Now check this shit out. Now on the opposite side of the coin, this the same time period. And he accepted their offer. Hold on, I'm gonna get a picture of him. So let me see. Dang, this I got his picture. Hold on, let me pull this back up. What did it say? I want to get his picture, like, cause he said he ain't joining no damn the feds. He said, kiss my arse. You see what I'm saying? Dang. Hey. Let me pull a picture up of the Noble. Like, man, it's crazy. Damn. That's why we closing out Black History Month. There go George Black. Man, dang. All right, hold on. Here you go, right here. There go the old player right there. Tell him to kiss my ass. Feel me? Shit, that's some real shit. That's some real shit, bro. So I was talking about, so this where this come from. So they was allies with the native. See, now I was explaining how they say Native Americans. That's when they talk about Native Americans, they talking about us, but they can't blatantly say it. So they got to talk in codes, and then also they have to talk in codes to where a lot of them can be claimants thereof. So they can claim they can claim to be Native Americans, but they can't claim to be Aboriginal. They cannot take that Aboriginal title. They can't take that title, and they know that. But they know that it's ours for the taking, but they distracting us by calling us black, and they putting the carrot on the stick. And instead of having the rabbit chase the carrot, they giving the carrot to the rabbit and letting him get fat off of the carrot. And just when they got comfortable in their consumption, that's when you see what's happening right now. So the whole time they calling us, it's literally, I done sat in rooms with people. It's crazy. I've sat in rooms with people where they're defending once the truth is out, it can't be altered. You can't go back. You see what I'm saying? It's like when you at the club. I was at the club. I was like, these motherfuckers out here, they don't give a damn what's going on in the world right now. They in there twerking. They twerking into the club. Like they can't. I'm like, they outside twerking. The club right there, they getting patted down twerking. As they getting, that's just really what's going on in these streets. So it's like when they cut the lights on. They cut the lights on. That changed the whole vibe. Can't go back. You feel what I'm saying? Yeah, that's what it is. And so like, I argue for our people. The same people that envy me, I'm representing them. And that speak to my character in rooms that they not in. And you have these people, these Negroes who are arguing that we not that we not really from here, and that we was brought here, and that we have to listen and obey the people who fictitiously brought us here. But my mama ain't raised me like that. My mama told me to stand up for myself. My mama told me that my voice is like thunder. Do you know I was in Kentucky when the worst hurricane hit? Like, it was so bad that we didn't know if we was going to wake up in the morning. And, like, it was that real. And I just remember I said a prayer, not out of fear, but out of, like, confidence. And I told the Almighty, I gave thanks for her winds. I was like, thank you for your winds, Lord. If you look it up, the joint stretched, this tornado stretched from St. Louis to Louisville. And in the midst of that storm, I was like, thank you for your winds. Because how are we going to condemn the winds when they fierce? But every single day we get oxygen from the wind. That's what they call double standards. And then they make you think back to, Santiago. When Santiago was communicating with the sun. And it caused so much havoc. That's like me, if I cut my phone off for a week, Let me cut my phone off for a week and just like go enjoy my life. let me cut my phone off for a week and just like have a like just yeah. That's Santiago when he was communicating with the sun. I wanted to pull this up. Damn, bro. Bear with me. Shit. Do you see it say 158 cousins? This is my mama obituary. This is my mama obituary. Long live Mama Abbott. But I just want you to know that this is the tribe. This is like the book of Numbers. This is the book of Numbers. Long live, hey, man. Where you at? Where you at, Dennis? Man, long live Duke, man. Long live Jack. Long live my Uncle Nay. Long live my Uncle Stan. Man, this crazy, dog. Long live my, man, that's my grandma right there. I still can't believe my son is really hurt right now that he, his Gigi not here. And I don't know how to, like, he's really impacted by it because she was there. Like, my son was born during COVID, so she didn't get to see Nas until like 4 months after he was born. And we did it was like a ritual, not in a like a cultist sense, but it was just like in a spiritual sense. So we took my grandmother and we voyaged over the hills where we was going, and she rode with my son the whole time through the Appalachians and through her territory. And like we rode to the top of the Chickamauga Rock. That's what we call it. They don't call it that. They call it something different. But I'm just going to be on code and say the Chickamauga Rock. We took grandma to the top of the Chickamauga Rock, and she was able to see the 7 nations and the 5 civilized tribes. And I told her, Grandma, you gave birth to the 5. Just, man. Yeah. I'm like, that's just real. So my son, he's been with my grandma all this time. I'm trying to find a picture, but So he like really, it's really bothering him. You know what I'm saying? Like how she's not here no more. Like the day that I told him about it, I mean, I had to drive 4 hours to tell him. I had to stop everything that I was doing, and I drove 4 hours. Instead of me going home, like to the city, I went to go tell my son and my daughter, and my son broke down. I had to tell him in person. I couldn't tell him over the phone. Hold on, I'm gonna watch this. Hold up. Man, what's up? All right, I'm back. My fault, yo. My fault. I'm back. I just had to go. You know what I'm saying? That's it. That's it. She been with that, but it was just really big. That's crazy, right? She literally would. It's generations. You know what I mean? This lady gave birth to my mom when she was 13 years old. They made that woman, when she got pregnant, they made her stand in front of the church and show her belly and explain why. At 13, bro. They tried to turn me against my grandma. When I lost my mama, they tried to turn me. They wanted me to not like this woman. They gave every reason, but then it worked at first. But then I had to think, like, hold up. Grandma, you was 13 when you gave birth to... Shit. You know what I'm saying? And so, like, as a man, that's when I became a man, when I was like, nah, I'm rocking for my big mama. You can't turn me against my big mama. You can't turn me against my old lady. You see what I'm saying? You can't. Can't make me hate her. It ain't nothing you can do. You see what I'm saying? I'm in the... Quentin. Man, that shit crazy. It can't nothing they can do to turn me against that woman. I've been by her side ever since, to the day she died. My last time seeing my grandma, when I walked in the room, she asked me where I came from. She was like, where you come from? Where you come here from? I said, Darrell. And she in there dying, and I made her laugh. It's not fun. That you gotta know. Oh, shit. I'm sorry, that's not... Don't laugh at that. I'm like, I said, because I was serious. I was like, no. I said, I came from Darrell. No, shit, man. Oh, man. That's her with my daughter. That's her with my daughter. You know what I'm saying? That's her. She was with them. She seen her walk. She seen her grow. She seen her develop. She seen her rise. Like, my daughter was in the house, in her house with her. Like, they was there. She was there. It was like, I'm gonna tell you, my grandma, man, she different. She different. No, she different. She from Louisville, okay? That woman from Louisville, all right? Oh, man. What ESTG say? He said, I'm from down by the water, Louisville, where these hoes let you fuck inside their daughters. Oh, my God. That's real. That's where my grandma from, okay? She from Kentucky. So, my daughter cry a lot. She cry a lot, right? And when she was a baby, she had like this, it make people mad. They get mad at me because my daughter crying. I'm like, she's sad. What you want me to do? I'm like, So this is what my grandma did. My grandma grabbed her jaw and closed her mouth shut. I'm like, Grandma, you gotta take your hands off my daughter. I'm like, how you... Look. Man, I tell you, bro. I tell you the damn truth. Man, I tell you the truth, Slam. You gotta laugh sometimes. Sometimes you just gotta laugh. Yeah, so she was there, and now my son, my daughter, she kind of like, she she not old enough to understand everything what's happening, but she see her brother hurt. You know what I'm saying? Like, my son really, I can't make it up. And, like, as a dad, I'm just kind of, like, I want to take him to counseling, but I want to be there. That's, like, the biggest thing is I want to be there. I want his mama to be there, like, because, like, that shit real. And, like, I thought, like, and see, the thing is, what hurt even more is my mom not here. So that's messing with him, too. You know what I mean? But at the same time, it's like his first soccer game, he scored a point. I think he scored 2 points his first soccer game. And after he got done, he said he was like, I felt Grandma Darrell and Gigi. So he scored a point for his Grandma Darrell and one for Gigi, his Gigi. You feel me? So this is the Carolinas, just that coastline. Hey, you funny. Hey, yeah, stop. This shit, and that's the beauty in this, cause, like, you know, people see me and they see me as an author, and, you know, they see me as this professional, that's good. I really appreciate it. But, like, listen, call Maria. Hey, call Maria. Oh my God. Oh shit. That's why they like, you gotta get out your hood. You gotta go places. That's why I'm like, man, I'm places I ain't never been. I don't even know where I'm at on this shit. They don't know Quinn. Shit. And so what I was talking about here is these are canals.
Pretty straight.
These are canals. I'm like,
And, like, really all throughout the Geechee Coast, you have these canals.
they.
Still out like that. Oh, look at the bridge turning.
I ain't never seen no bridge turn like that. I ain't never seen that. I'm like, oh shit. I ain't never seen that.
So it's turning so
I'm like, yo, what the fuck, son? Yeah, that's like, that's, man, that shit dope. I ain't never seen nothing like that. And that's why I'm like, man, these people, you know, I opened up talking about peace. You know what I mean? Like, these North America, it's a book. What book is that? I think it's called, I got it. It's Ryan Holiday. His book joint. He got a book called I think it's Stillness is the Key. Yeah. Yes, man. Where that shit at? Here, go right there. Here, go right there. Stillness is the Key. By Ryan Holiday. He talk about how in that book, how like they can't drop no bombs on America. They can't drop bombs on America. Why is that? Well, what they not telling us is that there's a higher power. There's a higher power. And the retaliation is not something that they can afford. They can't afford it. So they was talking about the Bay of Pigs and how they couldn't fire the Cuban missiles, and that was why. Because that's the karmic debt is they can't afford to pay it. You see what I'm saying? So that's why there's a covenant on our people. And the covenant is coming out of the priesthood of Melchizedek. That's why they were, you know, in California, they honoring Nip. Because he come from that priesthood. And that's the house I'm coming out of. That's the house I'm hopping out of. You feel what I'm saying? That's the house. That's where we come. That's why they call me. And when I go to ever since I went to I flew to California by myself when I was in 4th grade, and I was off of Paramount. Oh, that's where we at. To answer your question, that's where we at with it. You feel me? And so when I went to Cali, they called me Carolina. They told me I sounded country. We was out, cause you know my sister. You seen Los Angeles on there, like I can't make it up. We coast to coast with it. You feel me? And like, so that's on the coast. These on the coast of the Carolinas. No. This in Carolina. It's in Carolina. These on the coastlines. This the Gullah Geechee coast. And so like when you look up the Gullah Geechee, well look up the southeast from Wilmington to Jacksonville, and like just like look at that area and like do a survey on your map of that area. You'll see what I'm talking about. It's like a long canal, like all the way in North Carolina, like in the northern part of North Carolina. All of that is like a canal system. It seems like it was like crafted by our people. It had to be our people, and it had to be done over a long period of time, like because they're so precise. Like they like so precise. You feel me? And it's like when you look at it from an aerial view, they look like a shield. So it looked like a shield in North America. Or the coastline. That's what it looked like. You feel me? And these were, like how they were talking about, I'm going to play this video again. How they were talking about these craters. They were phosphate. They found so much phosphate on our coastlines. From the Carolinas all the way down through all the way down to Florida, and they exhausted it. And so that's what this is talking about.
All the same shape. They all point the same direction. Nobody knows what made them. In 1933, pilots noticed something strange in their aerial photographs. Perfect ovals. Thousands of them, all pointing northwest. Save this right now because this is one of the biggest unsolved geological mysteries in North America, and it's in your backyard. They're called Carolina Bays. Not because they're near water, because early settlers found bay trees growing in them. They range from 50 meters to 7 kilometers wide. Some are lakes, some are swamps, some are farmland now. But here's what makes scientists lose sleep. They all point the same direction, northwest to southeast, every single one. In the 1950s, a UNC geologist said a meteor shower did it. The alignment, the shape, the raised rims. It all fit. The theory evolved. Maybe a comet hit the ice sheet covering Canada 12,000 years ago. The debris flew southeast, created 500,000 craters. That timing matches the extinction of the mammoth. The sudden cooling called the Younger Dryas. The theory gained believers. But then scientists started dating them, and the dates didn't match. Some are 100,000 years old. Some are 15,000. Worse, nobody has ever found meteor fragments in a single Carolina bay. No shocked minerals, no impact glass. Nothing. The current theory? Burning peat created basins. Wind shaped the rims over thousands of years. Less dramatic, more controversial. Open Google Earth right now. Search Bladen County, North Carolina. You'll see them everywhere. Perfect ovals, all pointing the same direction. Lake Waccamaw is one of them. 9,000 acres. Species found nowhere else on Earth. A Carolina bay that became a lake. Thousands have been drained for farming. The evidence is disappearing faster than scientists can study it. Researchers can't get funding to study them.
So yeah. So this is Carolina, and it's like, you know, that's crazy, right? So during this same time was when this is the Carolinas is governed by women. They still is to this day. It still is. So that's where is it at? St. Helena. Where you at, St. Helena? Right there. So all of this is, these are all the, that's all our coasts. And they fighting for us, and it's like, we got to give homage to them. Like, I mean, women, these is women. Like, really, it's women doing all the work. And like, that's why, like, again, it's the bays, the ills, the ills and the bays. Like, it's the women, they hopping out on the bay. You see what I'm saying? What did it say, Laurel Bay? My aunt Bay? Come on now. That's real shit. And that's really what the fuck, that's really what's going on. That's my aunt being preserved. You feel me? That's my aunt being preserved. I don't know if you saw that. This was the picture I was looking for. Look at that. That's it. She love that boy. She did that for him. And her last niche was for Darrell and for Nas and for Milani. That was her last niche, and she did it perfectly. When she found out that she was about to have a great grandbaby, I went and told her, and my grandma had been sick, but when she found out that her let me see, all right, so you got Los as the grandson, Monty the granddaughter, Milani the great granddaughter. That was her great grandbaby. When she found out about her, she pulled her knitting kit out and started knitting her a hat, and then she started knitting my daughter a hat, and then she started knitting Nasir a hat. But she made his hat like an infant, and he was like 4 years old. I said, Grandma, that's not gonna fit. She said, yes, it is. I said, Grandma, I know my son. I'm like, his head is big. That's not gonna fit. She said it's gonna fit. Shut up. That's what she told. That's how she talked to me. And then she tried to put it on his head, and I was like, yeah, You feel me? So, all right, my aunt, bet, I got you. Hold on. I got you. I could get there quicker. I got a quicker way. Watch this. All right, bet. Here you go, right here. My aunt, bae. See that? That's the wing disc. You feel me? That's my aunt. And that's who's covering the land. That's why they got their wings out. You feel what I'm saying? Shielding the land, because it's a divine covenant. You feel me? It's her, exactly. It's a divine covenant, and those who's not in balance is revealing themselves. They are exposing who they are. That's what's really happening. That's really what's going on right now. That's really what's going on. That's really what's happening. That's really what's going on. That's really what's going on. And this is what I want to do. All right, so I'm gonna say that technology for another live. I was going because I was trying to figure out how I could get my poems off my notes, but my poems is like 30 bars, so they can't fit on this screen. And so I'm like, I don't want to. Okay, all right. I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna do this for real, because I really want to recite this poem. So watch this. So I gotta engineer this track. This is what I wrote for my mama the day on February 24th of this year. But February 24th of 2009 is the year that she transitioned. That she got her wing this. Yeah, that's what we gonna say. That's what I'm gonna start saying from here on out. My mama got her wing disc on February 27, 2009. But my last time speaking to her was on February 24th. So therefore, I did like a sigil and went back to February 24th, 2009, borrowed 17 years so that I could go back and say, all right, if this is not me consciously knowing that this day is coming and this is my last opportunity to speak to my mama. So this is what I'm going to tell her. And the exchange for that is I got to have that last conscious conversation with my grandma. I told her I was like, hey, can you hang out until, I was like, it's like 40 more days to your birthday. I was like, can you hang out for 40 more days? And she damn near couldn't. I'm just being honest with you. And she was like 40 days. She's in her head, she like 40 minutes, nigga. I'm like, all right. But she wanted to see my babies. So I had to go back I was in Charlotte and my babies was in Charlotte. And I was like, hey, grandma, real talk, give me a day. I was like, give me one more day. I promise you, swear for God, give me another day. I'm going to go get them babies. You hang out here I told her, this real shit. This some real nigga shit. I said, don't you take no, if it start with an M and end with an E, don't you take it. I told her that. All right, and she got to see my babies. Do you understand what I'm telling you? That's real shit. Yeah. Yeah. All right, so this for my mama. This for her daughter, her second born child. I'm the second born of the second born. Right? The fourth born. I think my grandma the fourth. From William and Cordelia. As Cordelia, they ain't know my great granny. If I ain't get to know my great granny, they not gonna get to know her. But they had the liquor houses in the hole in the walls in Kentucky. That's where that's where the enterprise came from. I was like, my uncle too, so gold, you can see it through the hole in the wall. That's Newburgh. All right. Okay. All right. Okay, I can't see the last. All right, here we go. I got you. Bet. I'm gonna do this best I know how. All right. So it's here to reading it, but nobody, I be sending my poems to my closest people, and they I gotta hear you say it because I don't know how to read this. All right, bet. I got you. I said, this me talking to my mama. So imagine, I don't use AI. I just don't, it's kind of freaky to me for real. But just use your imagination. Use your augmented reality. That's what we call it. Use your the intelligence of your mind. I'm talking to my mama in the hospital room 9108. That was the room she was in. And we sitting, they got the blinds open, and it's the evening time, and it's just us in there. That's how I wrote this poem. That's how I wrote it. I was like, and it's hard for me to speak it because you got to understand, like, the pain. Like, my imagination, you got to understand the extremity of my imagination because it's been 17 years without this woman. The sound of her voice. You feel me? And so I'm having to create that in poetry. So I was like, I really wish we could talk once more. If this was our last conversation, I would tell you. So this is me opening up. And this is where I'm about to tell her. That I'm on the way to pick up your grandson. And when you're not here, I'm going to still be there. You made man, mama. You gave me my heart. Now it's in a cage because no one can engage with what you made. Am I insane to think that you be the birds? To me, mama, you the sky. How you gonna die when the real got your eyes? Her hand so warm, mama. How can what gave me life die? This hurts so bad I can't even cry. You can have the passcode to my phone because I ain't got nothing to hide. You was my pride. And if you gotta go, I'm gonna be like, I said, if you gotta go, I'm gonna be like, no. How can you leave when you all I need? Is that too much to ask? But you was too big for the earth, so you made the galaxy your turf. And your house so big, there ain't no pun when I say, can see these. Respectfully, because it's your shit. You see D, my mama, they call her D. You can see these, it's your shit. I'm built for it. I wrote this intentionally. I'm built for it, tough. So it's like I'm built for it, tough. Because you was my soft spot. All these years passed by. Now I got to tell you bye. And I can't talk to you about losing you. I cannot talk to you. I can't talk to you about this. Who I go to. I'm going to go to God. If that was you, to me, stay focused, Q. You here to raise up East families. Mission complete. I brought back D. Nah, nigga. I brought back my mommy. My mama. My mama. Hey, I appreciate you sticking with me. My art, I appreciate it. I really do. And, you know, this is just, I was like, did I tell you I'm operate by a higher power? They like, you got to talk to these people because right now it's like, it's just like, I'm talking to the people who got fear. Like anybody that's dealing with fear and like doubt and uncertainty, I'm like, yo, you got to understand you covered. We got to understand that it's a covenant. You was born with the covenant. And they trying to steal our birthrights, but they can't. They cannot take our birthrights. They can't take what God made. They can't take what I'm trying to tell you. So we got to walk with that confidence. You got to walk with that confidence of knowing who you are, right? You see Big Mama carrying the baby. Let me get a bigger picture of that. I want to blow that up. I want to blow that up. For real. That book came yesterday. That shit came yesterday. Hold on. That shit came yesterday. Well, that's dope. There we go. Look at that. Well, actually 2 days ago because it's It's Sunday. It's Sunday. So yeah. That's how that's it, man. That's the matriarch. I guess so. And we in the mountain, we in the Cherokee forest, like deep in it. We in the in them back alley. Like, I mean, it's so spiritual out there. Look at, I took grandma out there. We was out in where the fuck was we at? We was out in the, out there where we was at. They got houses that you can only get to by the river. You could only get to by the river. Like, you got to literally take a boat to get to your house. And, they have trails for, what you call them joints? The little dirt bike? I meant the gators, the four-wheeler joints. That's how they move in they trails and behind their land and shit on the other side of the river. But look at my son. I'm telling you, Jordan is, that's my boy. And, I'm having to be here for him through all this. I'm bruh, Gigi is in your heart, son. And, you got her. So, his first name, Jordan, that's my grandma's last name. That was her. She got married into the Jordan. So, I'm not a Jordan by blood. You feel what I'm saying? She married into the Jordan family. And so my son got that because that's his mama's last name. You see what I'm saying? And so that's his first name. And the first shall be last, and the last shall be first. You see? So it's really deep for him. They call my grandma Mama Jordan. And that's how that's why all his friends, now, and it's crazy because all my set know him as Nas. They don't know him as Jordan. But at school, they don't know Nas. You know what I'm saying? Nas saying, Maliki and Nas, Arahi, Yowes Wisu, in Nas, Maliki and Nas, Asari, Asina, and Owisa, in Nas, Elahi and Nas, Yelmina, Regina, and Nas. That's the closeout to the Quran. Thou Nas. You know what I'm saying? Alright, I'm finna get off here. I just wanted to pull up this, had to hop out to get this joint. I had to hop out to get that joint. And I'm shit, I couldn't see that shit. So I had to pull up closer. I'm hold up. They talking about? They ain't talking about none. They talking about, I be really getting these markers. I'm nah, the ones that's hard to get be the ones that got the most drop in it. And they be high in this. They have to put the truth out there. They got to. They got to. They got to put the truth out there. So, yeah. Great Britain was allies with the American Indians. That's ancient Britain, though. That's ancient Britain. What? It's ancient Britain. I know I said I'm going to get off here, but it's I gotta close this out properly. That's ancient Britain. You feel me? That's ancient Britain. You got ancient and modern Brits. There's two different things, two different sets. That's two different sets. So that's two different sets. But that's an ancient cross. That's an ancient cross. Feel me? And that's it. Russia. Uh-oh. Russia. What Russia got to say about all this? Where Russia stand in all this? Russia. That's ancient. That's an ancient connection, bro. But alright, I'm about to get off here, so I appreciate y'all. That closeout was this poem. My art is being restored, and I just want to let my people know, directly from the land that you covered. Assalamu alaikum.